What's up, everybody? It's Matt, and this is the Cast, Colorado Kayak Fishing Club podcast. It's a cool live show here today. See a couple comments coming in already. If you are on Facebook, please let your accept StreamYard for the comments so I can see who's commenting. I see good evening and howdy, but not the names there. But we got a cool show here. We got Matt Flanagan and Alex Rojas, no stranger to anybody. It's been in the club here, both hammers in Colorado. And tonight we're going to kind of talk about fishing in Colorado and outside of that as well. So expanding outside of there through different clubs, some limitations with that we have, and some of the pros for it as well. So, but a couple things I want to cover on housekeeping notes real quick is hey, memberships. You can go ahead and get your memberships already. It is $20 per series. So we have bass and multi, 5 events each, and then we have the charity events as well. They're $20 per series for memberships, but if you sign up for both, we're doing $10 off, so it's $30 for both now. The AKC, that's the All-American Kayak Classic out in Truman. We'll be talking now a little bit. We did a whole show on it last time with Gene and Josh, who were the directors for that, if you want to go back and watch it. But we're going to have a roster set on that for March 1st. That is pinned on the Facebook group, so you can check that roster there. If you're unable to make it, we just ask that you let us know, and then we could send a roll down to the next person. We do have our rules. That's the next thing I wanted to cover. The rules are posted on the website for the club at cokayakfishing.com. Same place where you go and do your waivers and all that when you sign up. You'll see the rules there. Just the rules in there for that. It's just one motor, not two allowed for the tournaments. And then we got our charity tournament. I'll talk that in a bit, but let's just get these guys on here. Then we can talk about that because that's a brand new announcement here. Alex, Matt, what's up, guys?
What's up, Hammer? What's going on, Hammer?
What's happening? Yo. All right. Yeah, we got some comments flowing in. Nick Weatherall's in there.
Nicky the Weatherman. What's happening?
Yeah. All right, cool. So I was going to talk about it a little bit. We'll intro you guys here with the charity tournament. We were kind of talking a little bit about it. So Jamie and Josh got some info from them on it today. I know there's been questions on, hey, how are we actually doing it? It's going to be a blast. So what we're going to have for the charity tournament, and I'm just kind of pulling this up as we're all kind of new to it here for the info that's being put out. And it is subject to change possibly, but this is basically looking at a 3-day event on Spinney and 11 Mile, which is where we do probably our most popular multi-species tournament. There's plenty of room to fish there, and it's going to be MLF style. And what that means is as many fish as you can catch, they're going to count. I think the trout have to be over 13 inches, and I think 19 for pink. But Josh Hines has volunteered to kind of sit that out and judge the thousands of fish that are going to be coming in from that. I know it's going to be 13 and 14 July. Go ahead and mark that down. It's going to be a great event. Alex, you're always kind of hosting the awards for when we go out to 11 Mile and Spinney. Just let people know, I guess, real quick, what they could probably expect out there in July.
Say that one more time. I missed that last part.
Yeah, so what can people expect if they haven't fished 11 Mile or Spinney yet?
Like what they could expect as far as quality of fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously Spinney's a gold medal water for trout, so there's lots of every year. I think, Matt, you caught a 25-incher last year before. I caught a 25 and a half the last 2 years. I think I've caught a 25-inch trout. There's browns out there that are 27, 28 inches. Obviously, the pike can go up to 40-plus inches. I mean, they're out there, right? Every year somebody catches, we have multiple 32-inch-plus inch pike out there every year. Yeah, the quality's phenomenal, right? And 11 Mile, too. 11 Mile, to me, 11 Mile has better average size pike, in my opinion. What I've caught personally, I tend to catch bigger pike at 11 Mile than I do at Spinney on average. And I think the pike, the trout, last year the trout there were phenomenal. I had, for our tournament in September, I had 3 that were over 20 there for trout, 3 at 11 Mile, which is, a little bit more rare there. And obviously Spinney, that if you don't have over 22-inch fish, you're not going to win. It's just a reality, right? For a 5-fish limit, at least. But that tournament setup's just beautiful. I love, finally, we're doing a MLF style. Every fish matters. Every fish counts. I've been wanting to do one of these forever. So pretty excited that we're doing the multi-site. I'd love to see it on the bass side someday, but we'll see how this multi-species ones go. It's going to be a lot of fish caught, though, no doubt about it. July's prime time, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good. A lot of fun. Just so people know too, Matt, you can talk to this too, but I don't know if I can put this out here, but I'm going to put it out there. So where we hosted the award ceremonies at my in-laws property, they have 40 acres out there. And we always stay out there. A big group of us stay the night up there. We usually have about 13 to 18 people that stay the night up there. And there's no facilities or anything like that, but we just go out there, camp, people sleep in cots and tents, and just we drink and just tell fish stories all night long, play some games, some bags and stuff. It's a great time. Sometimes we take guns out there, we shoot stuff. I've had my ATVs out there, we've had fun with that. It's just a really, 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 it's one of my favorite weekends of the years for 11 Mile and Spinney. So everyone's invited out, we barbecue. It's just a great time.
Yeah, I remember it's beautiful out there too. Because it's right next to the water. It's not on the water, nothing is out there, but it's about as close as you can get. It's right off the main road as you're coming in. But last year was awesome. But I remember I didn't get to do Spinney last year. Did 11 Mile, and it poured and poured and poured the day of prefishing. It was miserable, and you came back and you could see. The little mountains that are next to your house already had snow on them, and it was, I think, probably the first snow of the year or one of them. It was gorgeous out there. And then, as you're saying, we'll have cornhole out there. Ronnie's always out there throwing those bags, and it's a great time, especially like if it's maybe like you're first getting into this, or you don't do the multi thing, so maybe you're not into that. You can throw pretty much bass baits and catch monster pike out there, and even trout. My trout at 11 Mile got 25, 23, and 21, like back to back to back last year. It was insane. But Matt, it was your first year last year fishing out there, primarily a bass angler, and I was like, dude, just go out there, and I think you caught a pretty good pike. And
37, 38 inches probably. I thought I had big fish locked up, and then it turns out there was like 6 over 32. I was like, okay, never mind. But yeah. I got a twitching jig from the general store up there. The guy at the general store, he'll put you on. He'll give you the juice, and he did. He turned me on to this twitching jig. Caught that monster my first cast with it, but then it got bit off like 3 casts later. It was the only one I had, and after that I just was throwing spinner baits and still catching pike. So and I caught 1 trout. It got off, but I caught a really big rainbow on just a tube. So yeah, I was bass fishing basically and catching nice pike and trout. Yeah. And I will say real quick, and we're definitely going to stop by Alex's this time. I didn't get up there last time, but is that me?
No, that's my garage. My wife's leaving. It's the garage.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But so I got a campsite because I need power. I need my fan and my coffee maker in the Flanagan van. So, but so if anybody's thinking of camping at 11 Mile. I just got mine today when I saw Josh's post, and there was only like 11 power sites left. So if you're planning on camping and want a power site, get on right now.
Yep. Agree. Yeah, it's a great place, good time. Good place to meet people too,
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people at the property there that stay up there with us, Matt. Like Sergio Murillo, the first time I ever met him.
Yep.
Was up at that property. You know, he actually gave. It's a whole nother story.
Yes. Yeah.
he actually gave me a steroid injection, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He's coming to the All American. I was talking to him
He is.
a week or two ago.
Let's dive into that, man. Let's start talking about that a little bit. I mean, that's what we really want to talk about, right?
Yeah. So just expanding fishing outside of Colorado is kind of what we're talking about here. Alex, you were president of the CKFC for the longest of times, and you probably will be again at some point. And then Matt, you're up with the Colorado Kayak Bassmasters. I mean, and then we all fish both of them. I didn't fish CKB last year just because I do the tournament still, and I'm doing it this year. I'm jumping all in. So I figured we just get everybody on, talk about expanding within Colorado and even outside of it. If you're looking for more tournaments, if you're looking for more traveling, or just how to become a better angler, there's some of the best things you can do. We got a great comment here from Jeremy. Alex and his performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, TD's on to you, Alex. Look out.
Yeah, I know.
All right, cool. So yeah, we can start with the Classic. So Alex, we've been going to the Classic for a few years now. I think they started in maybe 2020, but just kind of talk about the dynamic of how it's set up, and then more so how the club teams are set up and what that looks like during the week.
Yeah, so obviously you have to qualify. The way to qualify is through CKFC and CKB. You take your top 10 anglers. For us, it's each series. For CKB, it's just that one series. But take your top 10 anglers of the year. They all qualify to go out there to Truman. This year we Lake Truman. I think it's going to stay there if I'm not mistaken, right, Matt?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's staying there for the foreseeable future at least. And so AAKC, the All-American Fishing Class, Kayak Classic, they invite us out there. They get the best top 10 of all the local clubs around. So last year, I don't know how many people there were last year. You guys know how many there were?
196, I want to say.
Almost 200?
Yeah, just under
right.
200.
All right, so you compete against, 200 of the best anglers in the country, or this part of the country at least, right? It's a fun time. It's laid out great. Winner wins a lot of money. It's just a great opportunity, exposure to learn new water. Like, I didn't know nothing about Truman until I went out there and realized the amount of timber out there. And not only timber, because they have a little bit of walls. There's bluff walls you can fish. You can fish the timber. You can fish. There's some grass out there. There's muddy water. There's clean water. There's rock. There's a little bit of everything, which is kind of cool. You can fish whatever strength you like to fish, right? People caught them on jigs. We caught them on jerk baits. Caught them on what do we catch them on? Wacky rigs and chatterbaits.
Chatterbaits, anything.
I mean, everything goes this time. It's springtime, so everything's. I mean, they're biting. It's and this year I think it's going to be during spawn, because last year I caught one bedded fish last year. But that was the only one I caught. But there was a bunch that had pushed up already shallow, and I was catching them on a crankbait in like a foot of water, and I was catching fish after fish, but they're all males. But it was, Matt was right there with me. It was just fish after fish after fish after fish, and they're all males, so I knew you had to go out deeper. But I think since it's pushed back this year, it's going to be go time. They're going to be on beds. There's going to be some that are post-spawn, pre-spawn. There's going to be all three phases. It's going to be a great time. It's a good opportunity for people to get out there, explore new waters, learn some new techniques. And on top of that, if you go with a group of guys like we do every year, it's a great time to get together with the guys. That's probably my favorite part of it all, to be honest. I love fishing. I love competing. I love fishing new waters. But when I come back to the place that we're renting, the Airbnb we stay at, Red Matt, the inside jokes are endless, because we get back there and it's just a great time. Corey's our cook. He's always making great meals. We got a guy.
I still got him.
Chris, yeah, there you go. You got it queued up already. Look at you. You already had that queued up.
No, I had it left over from the show we did about it. We did about something, but yeah, that's the best sight right there. Corey just racked out.
Every time we go anywhere, we go Lake Fork, we go anywhere we go, if Corey's with us, he always sleeps on the couch, and that's exactly how he falls asleep every time, every single time. It's just like, yeah. So it's a great time. You know, we fish on the dock when we get back. We usually go fish for whatever's around the dock. We drink, we tell stories, we try to catch, you know, catfish or whatever else is on around the dock there. It's just it's a blast. It's a good time. You get together with a group of guys and go travel somewhere, anywhere. I promise it's gonna be fun. I've gone to Cotto and I stayed with Mitch Salzman and Ron Southworth and Jason Duong. I mean, I stayed with a lot of different groups of guys, and every time I've gone, it's been fun. My first one ever, I barely started bass fishing. I went to the KBF National Championship at, where was that one? In Tennessee. What's the name of that lake? Barkley and
Kentucky Lake?
In Kentucky Lake. Yeah, I went there, and I stayed with Trev and all those guys, you know, and it was a blast. You know, that was my first trip. You know, Kenny Hood and Paul Bissonette and all those guys. But that was my first trip out for a traveling one, and I got the bug to travel. So every opportunity I get to travel, I did. For many years, or this year I'm going to take it easy a little bit. I'm only going to do 2 this year out of state, but yeah, it's a blast. I recommend everybody does it.
Yeah, and really, you know, I think the cool thing about traveling, especially when you have the groups like we have, like we're going to have 15 from multi, 15 and CKB 15. Eventually, you got like 45 plus, you know, tournament directors and stuff. So we have like 50 guys and gals from Colorado go fish on this thing. You can find people that are your style for pre-fish. You don't have to go out there and grind it all day long. You know, Alex and I,
right,
we're going to do that. We're going to wake up at 4 in the morning, and we're probably going to get back at like 8, and that's just what we do. We find people that do that with us, and that's cool. We also have people that sleep in, they wake up, they kind of go out when they want, they go catch some crappie, go have a fish fry. You can just have a good time out there as well. It's not, you know, I have to grind for 5 days. I love doing that, so that's what I do. But you can really just find your tribe out there. At the end of the day, we'll have fish fries and cook out and everything too. So
I'm definitely going to follow you guys this time, because I did not have that steady action that you guys found in practice.
We did.
I did not find them.
The day before the tournament, I think it was the day before, 2 days before, me and Matt found. Oh, it was just.
boom.
I was up in the north half of the lake, and I think you guys were down further south, closer to Warsaw. I think I'm rooming with Arledge this time. He got an Airbnb, and he knows some juice out there, obviously too.
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
he knows.
He was in first place after day one. So
yeah, he knows that lake well.
Yeah, so I'll be tagging along with him too.
Yeah, the other piece to that too, Matt, and I forgot to mention, was about the team thing, right? So each club, like we're sending 10 people from CKFC, CKB sending 10. Each club you're representing not only yourself, but you're representing the club. So they have a club championship as a side thing too. The club wins. I think it was $1,000. Is that right? I think that's right. They win like a trophy and $1,000 or something like that.
It's a huge trophy, and I think it is $1,000 or something. It might be more, but
I think it's more than that. I think it's almost like 500 a piece. So it might be like $2,500.
Got you.
I forget.
Yeah,
because it goes by the best 5 out of your 10 to 15 anglers. But
yeah,
I forget exactly what it was, but.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. If we could bring home a trophy and bring it, steal it from Missouri and all the locals there and bring it home here, that'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and last year we had Matt Kern, who finished in 4th place.
Yep.
He did really well.
He won.
Matt Arledge was in 1st or 2nd place after day 1.
First, if he would have hit, I mean, I don't want to rub the salt in if you're watching Arledge, but he only got 4 on day 2.
Right.
And he had one come off at the end. And if he would have just gotten, I think, a 12-incher just to finish out his limit, he would have been in the top 10. That had to hurt. Sorry, Arledge, but
no, he's done well there before.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's pretty much the All American. We did a show with Gene, and we had Josh Booth on too. So people are interested in it. Go back to that show. We talk a lot more about the actual classic. They're also doing something pretty cool out there. It's like so there's a big convention center where they're going to have awards. I'm going to try to be more intentional on going to the awards this year. I was just kind of exhausted by the end of the week, but I'm definitely going. They're going to have a Global War on Terror wall out there, which is pretty cool too. So they're really actually doing a lot with the city. A lot of times you hear like, okay, Chamber of Commerce. They're actually doing stuff at the Benson Convention Center and stuff. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Some people might say, it's a 10, 11 hour drive, man, that's too much, but that's kind of the deal if you're in Colorado. If you want to get to those style of waters, you're going to have to go at least 10, I think,
Yeah, we were talking about that before the show, before we started airing this live. We were talking about just the reality of living in Colorado. And if you want to get on fish national level circuits, the closest you get is 9 hours usually, and that's a close one.
Yeah,
and most are 15+ hour drives, and that's the unfortunate part to it. But that's the beautiful parts of both our clubs, that we're able to qualify for things like the KBF National Championship, for the AAKC, for the Bassmaster Classic, which I'd like to talk about in a minute here. Those are huge opportunities for us, right? We also have the West Coast Championship that we qualify for also, right? Yep. And that's usually like places like Clear Lake. I mean, those are bucket list lakes for me, the Delta, places like that out west, which again, it's 18-hour drive, but that's just the reality of what it is. So that's just the reality of what it is. You got to be willing to travel. I would recommend people do at least one if you can do them. I know vacation time's tough and all that good, your family and all that other stuff, but if you can do one out of state tournament, they're worth it. If you could go with a group of guys, I recommend don't go by yourself. Try to hook up with somebody. Reach out to me, Matt. I'm sure both Matts there. Reach out to whoever, or put a post out there on Facebook. See if anybody wants to go with you, and get Airbnb together, travel together, share those costs. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I went on my own last year and just camped by myself, and I wish I would have grouped up, at least with one or two other people, and I'm sure it would have made my experience better. I still had a great time, and
right.
I remember I saw you guys at Everhart's after check-in. Right. You guys helped me out because I was down after day 2 practice. You guys kind of lift me up.
It's
a little
cool
bit.
that way too, because you can hear the juice out there. Like you're on a team, so it's just like Colorado. You want to bring the trophy home, so you can go out pre-fish, share the juice to your friends. I'm not going to do that in Colorado necessarily. Alex spills the juice to everybody, anyways. But you're not gonna have that a lot of tournaments. So you can go somewhere and be like, hey, Alex, I caught him on chatterbait today, or Wacky, or whatever it is, and then you go out there and perfect it, especially with the teams. So we do have a funny comment from Jeremy. It's exciting drive if you end up in the middle of a police chase. So this was hilarious. So so Jeremy was ahead of me by a couple miles because I stopped to get gas. See a cop just cruising like probably 100 and some miles an hour, crushes past me. I was like, okay, he's really after somebody. Then I see like some dude in the median, and I thought I saw a cruiser, and I was like, are they setting up spike strips for some dude? And sure enough, Jeremy and I were in between a police chase, and I saw a guy get on the overpass and onto the exit, came on, and then did a U-ey through the median, back up. I was trying to call Jeremy in time because I knew he was like right up around it, and the dude basically almost jackknifed right in front of me. But it was a crazy police chase, and they just got busted for having like a little weed in the car or something like that, and then went on like a 5-hour police chase. So, and then I qualified for one in Florida, so that's part of the game. Yeah, exactly. And hey, if you're on Facebook, just let StreamYard have your access there, and we can see your name.
So let's talk about CKB, the qualification there, if you would, Matt. Just tell us all about that a little bit, and who's representing this year and where it is and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so with CKB, of course, it's affiliated with Bassmaster. So if you fish, last season it was one event. This year we changed it to two. If you just fish at least two of our events, you're automatically in the championship, and then the top 10% of that championship, the last event of the season, the top 10% get to go to the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship, which runs in conjunction with the Bassmaster Classic. So last season we had, I think, 31 or 33 anglers in the championship, which means we got to send three. So it was Matt Arledge, myself, and Chen Charlie. So we got a good group going. It's going to be awesome. It's at Lake Tenkiller, Oklahoma. The boat classic is up at Grand Lake. We're on Tenkiller, and so I was really looking forward to. I really wanted to make this one because everybody in the club did, obviously, but being in Tulsa, it's the closest the Classic's ever going to get to it. Why does the Classic never come to Texas? Is there a reason they don't come to Texas?
I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know.
So Oklahoma is pretty much the closest they're ever going to get to us. And they don't really do Missouri either, do they?
No, they don't. They usually they stay way out east, and every now, like once or twice a decade, they go way west.
Yeah, huh? But anyway, so
I read an article on that. I think the reason they used to have the Classic at the end of the year. It's like championship, right?
Right.
They moved it to the spring for media reasons. So they get such a bigger draw because it's the first big event of the year. You pretty much have to have it in Florida, Lower Alabama, Georgia, someplace where it's a little bit warmer, already on spawn. That's the only reason I can think of where they come up here. Maybe this is already hit by that time because they're already going to be in the spawn here in like 2 weeks. But yeah, I think it was like Bass After Dark where Ken Duke was talking about it when they made the change. Yeah, there's so many people complain about that, but it was just because you get all these people that are in the winter, ice fishing, or half the country's locked up and they can't fish, and they're just so excited. So they end up doing something like that.
No, it's still weird that they wouldn't at least go to. You'd think they'd go to Texas, one of the bigger Texas lakes every once in a while, but yeah, so Tulsa's as close as they're ever going to get to us, at least for the foreseeable future. So I'm glad for that. It's about 11 hours from me, so again, that's doable. It's like doing Truman or any of those. So yeah, me, Matt, and Chen, we got an Airbnb already. We're stoked doing our map study, getting ready for it.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about going out of state. And it doesn't have to be out of state, but attacking new waters you've never been to. What's your, Matt, I'm talking about Matt Flanagan here. What's your approach to attacking a lake you've never been to? Like, what's the first steps you go through? Like, just walk us through your whole, of how you attack it,
I just buy a bunch of jackhammers.
You can't go wrong.
It's gonna work at some point. Now I do some map study, but I'm not an expert at map study. I'm not that guy that can look at a contour map and say, all right, well, it's gonna be some stages of pre-spawn, and this is where they're going to be staged between the deep and the shallow. I'm not the guy that can pick that out.
Okay.
But I do still like to do map study, and I look more for stuff that sort of fits my style. Like I like looking for coves and creeks where there's some visible cover that I can throw at. But with, of course, with deep water close enough by where there will be some transition. But so my map study's not, I'm still learning that. But yeah, you still got to do it. You still, I get on Google Earth Pro and you do the go back in time to when the water's super low, so you can find some more of that underwater stuff. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Arledge is good at that stuff though. We've got a group chat, the three of us, and he's good at digging up old articles and stuff like that about what's worked in the past and time of year and stuff like that. He's good at that stuff, and he's been sharing that with us, which is awesome.
Do you? So what I do, I go through my. Let me go through my process, Matt. I'll let you go through yours. So what I attack first thing, like it's going to be contours. I'm always looking at maps, physical maps, and I also look at Google Earth. I look at the historical Google Earth, like you're saying. Look for
Yeah.
lowest water I can find. It's a clear picture, and then I start going through that, and I start looking for rock. Rock transitions where
Yep.
transition from rock to chunky rock to little rock to sand, to different things like that. If I see old grass, if I see anything, any transitions, is always mark them, right? Drop offs, obviously, I'm looking for channels. If I can find a channel, I'll mark the whole channel, and I'll make on Google Earth. I'll make a bunch of waypoints all through the channel, so I can mark the whole channel, and then I transfer all those waypoints, and I make 1,000 waypoints every single time I see a lake. I transfer my fish finder, so I have them on there, and I try to label them so like it says beginning of rock, end of rock.
Yeah, I do that too.
Channel, I always do CNL for channel, and so I know it's the channel. I'm marking a channel, so I know not only what the marks are as well, right? If I see big boulders, like say at Horsetooth, for example, huge boulders in Horsetooth, right?
Yep.
I'll mark those huge boulders, and I say big boulder. BB is what I do. BB for big boulder. So that way I know where they are in my fish finder, and I can go fish those more effectively that way. So that's what I start with, right? Then I start digging into the YouTube. And when I do YouTube, right, is I start searching everything I can find for that time of year. So I started looking for like within a month of that tournament. And I started looking at all the YouTube channel things, that fishing trips I see for that, especially the guides. Guides are the best, right?
Yeah.
And I start trying to pick out what they're fishing, what's working for them, what colors, what techniques, what baits, if they're targeting deeper water, shallower water, trees, whatever it might be, right? Like I go like that's the next step I go. Then I start going into the old archives, and I start looking into forums, the old fishing forums out there, right?
Yeah.
And I look for fishing forums in that state, obviously, in that body of water, right? And I start digging into all the forums I can start digging into for that period of time, and every year, for that period of time. And I start trying to pick out little things. And I start trying to put this big picture together. I'm a spreadsheet guy. I'm that guy, okay? And I start putting this Word doc together and spreadsheets together, and I start trying to build a database, if you will, of all this data. And I try to pinpoint, okay, 10 years ago they're using this, but they're using this now. What's similar? What's not similar? That's why I try to attack new water like that. Not to say it works well for me because I've never done well at a national level, but it helps me at least catch fish, and have a good time.
It helps you go in with a little bit of confidence too.
Yeah, so that's my that's the way I attack them, Matt.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. You got it. I got a message here. Yeah. So I'm very similar to like what Alex was saying, and I think first off we had a question in there. Alex, what do you mark for canals? Do you mark like waypoints through a line? Like I'll do a track for those.
Yeah, I think it's called a track. Exactly what I do is I do a track. I do 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and it actually makes like a line through them.
Yeah, you can do a path. I do that. I'll do a path.
That's what.
And I'll sometimes like circle rock fields, and I'll just circle the whole rock field and just make a waypoint in the middle. It says rocks, and then I know it's a whole.
So I make a path with the canal or channel.
Yeah.
Same thing with rocks. Again, I do one at the end of the rock pile, at both ends of a shoreline. And I do one rock pile for the beginning, one for the end, so I know where the ends are. And chunk rock, I can label chunk rock. Yeah. If anybody wants to know how to do that and they want to learn how to do that, hit me up and I'll show you. I'll send you. There's videos on YouTube to show you exactly how to do it all. But if you can't find them or if you need help, hit me up and I'll help you out with that. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead. What's your approach, Matt?
No, I was going to say for canals, in Colorado, we've got like such deep water, you go down to some of these other lakes down south, and they're like when I lived down in Lower Alabama and Florida fishing that, you might have a lake that's like 10 feet everywhere. You find that one spot that's like 12 or 13 feet, and it's the juice. So that's something outside of this state that is really important to found is, those canals exactly. Even here, there's some spots where, you just get a couple feet more, and then boom, it just lights up in there.
I actually had that with doing the map study for 10 killer because I'm not so used to, but I'm kind of used to looking at Colorado lakes and like Pueblo, for example. You can, if you look at the map or you're your unit, the map on your unit, you can see the river channel going through it, or the creek channel, whatever it is. But it's an 80, 100 feet of water. So I don't even, it's like, okay, I don't care about that. I'm not doing that. So it doesn't matter here. But then, like for 10 keeler, I saw the same thing. You see the creek channel or river channel going down the middle of it, but it's still kind of, I was thinking, oh, that's got to be 50, 80 feet of water. So I'm not looking at that. I'm still looking in coves and creeks. And then Arledge was talking about, yeah, you should look at this and that and the other. I'm like, isn't that too deep or whatever? But then I looked at the map. It's like the main river channel was like 18, 15, 18 feet. I was like, oh, oh, okay, I can handle that. I can fish that. Yeah, so I got to start like thinking about it a little bit differently.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how
water clear's
water clarity?
Because when people say clear water in other states,
Yeah,
it's dirty water for us, right?
yeah.
Depending where you are, you go to the Missouri, lakes over there, it's a little different. Those are clear water, but yeah, a lot of places they say clear water, you can see like a foot and a half, not like 12 foot like we can see here, right? But
Yeah,
a little different. So yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, and like a couple things hit on that are good. Old physical maps, those are like little treasures because a lot of times the old maps, the ones that you could buy at any of the tackle shops, especially the local ones. Giant maps you pull out, a lot of times they will have stuff on it that your graphs or even like Navionics, what's the hummingbird one? A lot of stuff's not even on the new ones, like master maps and stuff like that. So you'll find like submerged whatever down there, roadbed. That's another thing that a lot of times you won't see even on Google Earth. Sometimes it's hard to know where roadbeds go across.
Yep.
Those are gold. And so yeah, physical maps are awesome. I'm getting ready to go to Texas, and yeah, go ahead.
They said pond dams are good too. There's a lot of things that you're right. Those physical maps tell you a lot more sometimes. Oh, another thing too is to go look up on the like DNR, or CPW, whatever their wildlife thing is. You go to their pages. There are a lot of states that have crappie. They do a lot of structure. They drop in structure. They drop in those crappie PVC things that they make, the trees and stuff, and they make those public as to where they are, and wherever those crappie are, you're probably going to find bass right there eating them, so those are really good to mark too and import it to your GPS, into your fish finder as well. That's a good one too. And most of the lakes, southern lakes, they all have that. It's all public.
Yeah. I think the best advice that I've heard recently, and I think Matt, you were talking about it too, is fish your strength. Eric Ali I was talking to him recently. That's something he said too. He's like, you just got to go and fish how you fish, when you go to these places. And I'm getting ready to go to Texas in 2 weeks, and we don't have 13 pounders, up in Colorado all over the place. But I'm going to go hit OHIV. I'm going to go hit up Fork, maybe PK. And there's a chance to like get into some giant fish. And I'm a finesse dude through and through. And, it's like, well, what do I need to change? What do I need to change? I watched a video yesterday. It was Milliken. He got like a 12 pounder on 6 pound test throwing a hover. I'm like, all right, I'm going to fish what I fish, Yeah. So I think that's something, especially, you go out for 1 week to get out of state, don't change everything up. If it's worked for you, do it out there. Find the areas that you think that's going to work. And if you want to try something different, that's cool. It's a place to try that at. But don't forget like what you've had rigged up that's been successful for you, because you need to take that stuff.
I will say at Fork, that's the one place I would beef it up because you're fishing timber 90% of the time.
That is the thing. Like, if I'm around trees,
you look that big one, you're gonna lose in those trees.
OHIV is the same. It's got a lot of timber too.
Yeah. But that's I don't know. I'm gonna go up to 8 pound test. I've got some big baits that I want to try to throw just because I don't get to throw them. We'll see.
Right.
So let's talk. Kind of hit CKB a little bit. How to qualify. Alex, talk about the native, because that's just there's the Hobie BOS side, the Bassmaster Kayak Series, and the All-American, which is probably close to us as far as tournament trails. And then you have two other kind of outlier, like the Eco Fishing 250, big 250. That's like a big bass. I think it's $10,000 for the big bass or something. It's crazy, and then $1,000 every hour or something. But then there's also Native does something similar, but they do more tournaments than just one a year. And Alex, go ahead and talk on that.
Yeah, so there's the Native No Limit Tournament Series, right? So it got started last year. Pretty successful. The unique thing about the Native No Limit Series, obviously not just for natives, it's for any kayaks, right? Same thing with Hobie. The unique thing is that every other tournament series has your best 5 fish, based off length, obviously, right? It's your best 5 fish, which is typical, type of tournament, right? This is a one-day tournament. It's every fish counts. It's MLF style, right? So at Forks, for example, it'll be 14-inch fish. So every 14-inch fish you catch counts. So you could catch 100 of them and have 140 inches, I'd be more than that, but you know what I mean. But yeah,
1,400.
1,400. Yeah, my math was bad there. Sorry. So yeah, every fish counts. So you want to. It's not a quality fish type of tournament. Don't get me wrong. You can catch quality fish and do well too. But if you can catch a lot of 14-inch fish, 15-inch fish, you're going to be money. Because that's what you're after at these tournaments. It's a unique style. It's about quantity, not quality per se. It's a little bit of both. But the nice thing is that at every tournament they give away a kayak, depending how many entries they have. They give away 2 kayaks sometimes. That's pretty cool. As the first prize on top of the money. They have Power Hour. So every hour they have a sponsor of the tournament, different sponsors, many sponsors. For example, like they might have Dakota Lithium or whoever it might be, right? Or Amped Outdoors, whoever it is, right? Every hour they give away a prize to the biggest fish caught in that hour. Every hour. And Josh Hines caught one during the last one at Fork that we went to. He caught a 21 and a half, I think it was 21 and a half inch fish. It might have been bigger. I think it's 21 and a half inch fish. And he won $1,500 in cash. No, it's $1,000 in cash. Sorry, $500 a gift card towards, I forgot who sponsored that hour.
Yeah, it's Dakota, I think. Yeah,
it was Dakota. It's Dakota Lithium. Yeah. So he won $1,000 cash, and then $500, and that's just a side pot thing that happens every hour. So it's big bass every hour. The Power Hour they call it every hour, right? So that's kind of unique and different. So the big fish does get rewarded, and the biggest fish of the day won a kayak as well, on top of winning a Power Hour. And there it is, right there, $500. Yep. So that's what's unique about it. There's I think they have 8 of them this year now. Anyways, the one me and Jason Duong are going to be tournament directors for the one at Lake Fork this year. So we'll be running that one. Pretty excited about that. Kind of bummed that I don't get to fish it, but
yeah, right.
I'll be able to pre-fish, have fun. That's just the sacrifices we make, right? So we're both on a native team, and we just got to help out natives. So we're actually probably some of the closest guys. So we're going to go and be TDs for that tournament. So yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up. But it's a great format. It's a little different than every other tournament series out there, and that's what makes it unique. It's a lot of fun. It's just about catching fish.
And it's late in the season, so it's after our season's done, you can get an extra one in. That's all.
Right.
That's why I'm looking forward to
November 16th. Really late, but down there, it's a pretty good time. We hit a little early this last time. We went October 28th is when we were there this past year. And the fishing was a little bit tough. It was a lot of little fish, but it was a week after the Berkeley Big Fish tournament they have. And they literally have like 1,500 boats out on the lake that, the weekend before we were there. So they got hammered. So it was a tough week afterwards. They weren't biting quite as well. Caught a lot of little fish, but nothing. Yeah. So we pushed it back a little bit further to get away from that, to get away from all the tournament trails. It should be one of the last tournaments happening in the country. So yeah, it should be good. It should be good timing too. That fall bite should be on.
Timing's awesome because you got the CKB championship on Pueblo the 5th of October. That's the last one for Colorado between us. Our last one's on the 29th of September. And then I'm probably going to do another out-of-state one for the All-American in October, or the Bassmaster one. But then really, like, you got a good break. You've got like a solid at least month off that can just kind of relax, like the family happier that you haven't been gone every weekend for a month and then go leave again. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, we can also
I think
do
it'd be
this,
cool.
right? Is it official now about Native for the club?
Yeah, so Native's going to give another kayak away. I didn't talk about that on the charity tournament, but we are going to give it away at the charity tournament this year. It's between Waterline and Native. Yeah, they're going to give a kayak away at the charity event. So it's pretty cool. Doing a little bit different from last year. The last 2 years it's been kind of a drawing towards the end of the year. Really want to push that charity. Every proceeds for the tournament are going directly to Cast for Kids, which is our charity for next year. So we're just going to try to bolster that up. And yeah, go fish the charity tournament. It's a 2-day event. We'll have a blast, catch a big fish, and you can take home Native.
Yeah, if I read Josh's post right, it looks like it's just going to be a drawing for anybody in the charity tournament. So you don't have to win to get the kayak. You just have to compete to have a chance, which means I might actually have a chance because I'm not going to win that sucker, but I still have a chance at a Native, which I really need.
It's a great opportunity for somebody to win a very nice kayak for entering a tournament. Again, you don't have to do well. Anybody can win it. The only person I don't want to see at the tournament, there's one person I don't want to see at the tournament.
Tim Van Sickler.
Boom. Tim Van Sickler. So those of you that don't know, we've given random giveaways for pedal kayaks. I mean, really high-end kayaks, right? And Tim Van Sickler last year, he won a Hobie 360 and he won a Native Slayer Max, I believe it was, right? A 12.5 Slayer Max.
He won I think he won the Old Town.
Was it the Old Town?
Tim won the Old Town last year, and the year before he won the Ike and Ellie Hobie.
Yeah, that's some luck. So I don't want to see him at that tournament.
Yeah, Tim, you're not allowed. You're
but what a great opportunity. On top of that, Matt, talk about what the club, what membership fees, and how the donation goes and what the club is about. As for those that don't know, what the club does with the money and how we're nonprofit and all the other stuff, right?
Yeah, so let's just take it all the way back when the club started. You had a couple guys. We did a show with them. Great duo of, basically Dave Kuzer and then Johnny Luca. And I lost a second, got you right back. So yeah, Johnny had a really cool story he shared with us. Basically, he was one of those kids that was eating because the Boys and Girls Club was there for him growing up. So when he wanted it to be a charity, a nonprofit that pushed money back into nonprofits like that helped him when he was growing up. Really cool story to see where he came from and where he's at and everything. But long story short, they were the first year of when the CKFC was founded as a nonprofit. Proceeds went to that, and I don't know what the exact number was, but it was at least $150, right? And 10 years later, CKFC did another donation to him, and it was how much was it, Alex? $7,500.
7,000 something.
7,500, I think it was. Yeah.
So yeah, just super impressive. But it's not the Boys and Girls Club every year, but that was kind of to commemorate the beginning. I went back to that. But gosh, Alex, you've been there. You've handed checks out to Denver Boys and Girls Club.
A bunch of places.
Last year it was True Patriot Outfitters. Gene takes out vets, first responders on kayak fishing trips. Really cool watching that. I haven't seen him do it, and it's really cool watching that. They've got this year Cast for Kids, so it's focused on getting kids out there fishing, and especially children with disabilities. There have been a bunch of them, but it's going to be, what your membership fees and then part of the tournament fees, everything. Part of that, yeah, we do have we do pay out for the first through third place and then Big Bass. with our sponsors. We get a little bit of help on that, kicking back into that. KBF is basically footing the bill for all of our big bass this year. They donated $2,000 to do this week, which is awesome.
Plus insurance.
Plus the insurance, yeah. So so that's been great. I got a check from them and everything, so it's great. But basically, the additional money that's not paid out, we do push it back into the charity, and then having a charity-specific tournament is going to basically be full stop. Where hey, we spend one tournament, it's over 2 days, all that money we're just going to chuck into the charity that we're going with this year, Cast for Good. So it's going to do some good. We're also trying to do some stuff. Maybe if we can find a day that works out, volunteering to help these kids actually fish Sunday, maybe without Pueblo or something. And just putting it out there. Hey guys, if you want, there's an event over here, and we can help out in whatever way it's possible. But financially, it's going to be the biggest way that we're giving back.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Jeremy's got another comment here. The opener at Boyd is shaping up. The manager wanted to remind everybody public 420 and 420 or on 420 is not allowed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they did ask. They're like, we just want to make sure this isn't like a holiday that you guys are making or something.
That's funny.
Holiday party. No.
Oh, it is on 420, isn't it? Yeah.
That's funny.
Let's not go. Or I think was talking about Tim getting another kayak. It's gonna have a hole.
Next one's gonna have a hole.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we're kind of wrapping it up here. I do want to talk about the beginning of the year. We've got Boyd as our first one. You guys are going to be up at Horsetooth for your first one. Both my least favorite places to go fish in Colorado. Really so strong. But I do think that it's better that we're having them early for a couple reasons. One, you're going to have less boat traffic out there, which on Horsetooth, I actually kind of like it because it stirs up as like a false wave sometimes. But especially on Boyd, not having all those party boats out there, you can really only fish Boyd unless you live out there, can go in the middle of the week. Fish it early, you can fish it at the end of the season after Labor Day, and those boats aren't trying to kill you all over the place. So the water was really high last year when we did Boyd. I thought the bite was going to be a lot better than what it was, but with all that water level high, if it's still up, then you're going to have a lot of structure to fish, probably more so than anywhere in Colorado right now. And also Pueblo is almost, I don't know what it's been for beyond 3 years, but it's the highest I've seen. The North Marina,
super high.
That parking area is gone. Basically, that road you drive down to go park is basically a boat ramp now. So it is high water, and I guess they had dammed something up behind it that they were working on, a bridge or something. So they haven't let any water out basically over winter. So Pueblo is full. So that could be a really cool one too. And we'll be there in May. Probably some spawn time there. So yeah, it is shaped up to be a good couple of tournaments starting out. And then obviously we're going to start all that off with the Classic out in, I guess we've got ours in Boyd, and then we got the Classic a couple weeks later. But yeah, it'll be a blast. You guys got anywhere cool this winter you're going to go fish still, Alex?
I've been ice fishing. I've been liking it right now. So I've been ice fishing a little bit. So I've been taking the kayak a long time. I haven't taken a kayak out since we got back from Fork in October. All been ice fishing. I got grandbabies now. I got 2 grandbabies now. So that's been eating up a lot of my time too. So
you gotta come join the Rough Riders, man. Me and Hammer and Nick we've been smashing them, man.
I know. I got to make it out there. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. I got the itch for sure. I haven't been out there in a long time. It's blade bait season.
That's
gold minnow season. It's working reaction bites down at the bottom, and I'm pretty good at that. So yeah, I need to get out there and do that.
Heck yeah.
It's been pretty good. I think I don't know if the moon had anything to do with it, but that last full moon, we were out there around that time. Yeah, it was great. Dick Weatherall and I got out there, and I slammed walleye. I caught a 14-inch crappie. I caught 18-inch smallie. It was a big day. So.
Yeah, that's fun.
Well, wintertime, you don't always get those days. You just kind of enjoy the bite you get, but it was really good.
I will say this: this is the safety part coming out. I mean, this is the nerd in me coming out here. If anybody goes out this time of year, any time of year really, but this time of year specifically, please wear your PFD. I mean, you cannot not wear your PFD if you're going out this time of year. Please, 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 please do it all the time, but especially this time of year. The other thing I always do when I go out this time of year is I always take a dry bag with me. Always take a dry bag with me this time of year when it's cold, early season and winter. I get a dry bag, and all I have in there is just some fleece clothes, just something I get out. If I go in for whatever reason, I can quickly put that dry stuff off, get to my truck, turn the heater on. I'm safe. I don't want to hear any of those bad stories, so please do that.
Yeah, whole friend too. Like this time of year, I like to go out with people always, but I always try to go out with somebody. It makes my wife feel a lot better too. If I'm going out and it's with Matt or Nick or Alan, whoever, it's just, hey, if something did happen, you got somebody there. So, and lastly, there's a shitload of people shooting guns on Pueblo right now for waterfowl. So be careful. There's some idiots aiming at the coves and shooting as we were coming by. That's mostly on the west side. So kind of avoid that for maybe the next week. But I think the waterfowl season's about wrapping up. So.
Yeah, no. Other than that, I just want to say one thing to Matt. Good luck, man. Get out there, represent Colorado well.
Thanks, man.
And Matt, both Matts, freaking go kill it out there, man. Have fun.
Man. I can't wait.
I'm jealous. I wanted it to be me.
Yeah.
We all did, right? But
yeah.
I'm happy as you guys. You guys are obviously sticks. You guys were representing us well. So just go out there, have fun.
Heck yeah, man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really looking forward
to it. And Matt, on one other note, if guys or gals are listening and they are interested in, like I say, they've just done the CKFC stuff and they're interested in signing up for CKB, what's that process look like for them, and just kind of point them in that direction?
Yeah, we actually just finally set up a website separate from Facebook, because we used to have to do all these different directions. I'll go here, then do this. Now it's all just go to ColoradoKayakBassmasters.com. There's a join page. You just got to fill out a waiver. There's a PayPal button, and boom, you're done. So it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's a lot of the same guys as CKFC, obviously. So it's a great group. We do a couple out-of-staters, Nebraska and Kansas, so get a little bit of different look, and just a few extra tournaments. So yeah, check it out.
Right on.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. We're right at an hour here, so we'll wrap it up. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you do have any questions about either the CKFC, CKB, All-American, or anything Alex was talking about with Google Maps and stuff, reach out to us. Best way to find our stuff is on Facebook page. We have our pinned featured stuff for the actual All-American roster. Yeah, here we go. Corey's.
Yeah, thanks, Corey. That's a old bandmate of mine, my buddy Rich Grosskopf. He's a local guy. He's an awesome painter. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right on. Yeah, if you guys got questions, hit us up. You can hit us up. Find us on Facebook. Reach out to any of us direct as well. Happy to help out. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And yeah, the season's coming up. Super excited.
Let's go.
Matt,
Let's do it.
and Alex, thanks for coming on. And
thanks, buddy.
See you guys in the water in about a couple months here. So.
All
right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Later.
Yep. Later.